Hi, my name's David Dozier. I teach public relations at San Diego State, and Lou Williams and I wrote a paper which is part of a stream of research looking at doing communication audits. And this stream of research has looked at the experiences that Lou Williams had as a communication audit consultant for many, many decades, looking at his own personal work. And then we did a survey of about 33 professional communication auditors and have been reporting the results both last year and this year. We'll have one more for next year. And what we found is that when you look at the barriers to conducting communication audits, the biggest challenge is the issue of whether people within an organization trust each other. When you have low trust in an organization, that ends up being a really substantial barrier to conducting a communication audit. Because audits are risky business. They put a lot of people in the organization in uncomfortable positions. Chief executive officers are at risk because their leadership might be questioned, their view of the world might be questioned by the results of the audit. Of course, the communication staff's online because they have a tendency to look at this as a report card, which is an unfortunate misinterpretation of the purpose of audits, but that's what's at risk. So, biggest one was the whole issue of trust. Second one was getting the communication staff to commit the time necessary to make the audit work. There's a lot of things that when you're conducting a communication audit that the internal communication staff have to help you organize, and if they're not providing that time commitment, you're going to have a lot of trouble making the audit successful. The other thing that we encountered was the issue of the organization's management really truly supporting the audit. If you don't really have management support, then that ends up being a really, really big obstacle. Those were our closed-ended questions. We also asked open-enders, and we got a lot of people giving us a wide variety of responses, but they fell basically into two categories. One of them was basically a bunch of logistical issues, time, budget, and stuff like that. But the larger issues that came up were sort of philosophical, organizational, cultural issues. And the takeaway is that if you're going to hire somebody to do a communication audit, you really need to have somebody with a great deal of experience, because this has to be a Renaissance man or a Renaissance woman. Requires a wide variety of understanding of the issues of organizational politics, organizational culture, how to measure stuff, how to design questionnaires, how to conduct focus groups. And you need to have all of those skills, and you need to pull them off in a manner that builds trust in the organization so that they're willing to commit the resources to not only do the audit, but then to actually implement the findings, to report back the results to the people in the organization that participated in the communication audit, and then have some kind of structural response, functional response within the organization that says, okay, here's what we learned about our communication program. There's some things that we're doing right. There's some other things we need to do better. And so here's the task force. Here's how we're going to move forward to make this happen. And that's only going to happen when you have somebody that's really quite skilled. And we're really grateful to all of the communication consultants who were kind enough to take time out of their busy schedule to provide us with the data.